In this session, we are going to have a look at the vocabulary involved in explaining the 4 phases of in vivo drug development. Now, medical scientists do a great deal of work in the laboratories testing compounds to see if they can develop something that can help treat diseases. This work in the laboratory is in vitro testing in the laboratory. When they find a promising one, they come up with an educated guess or a prediction called a hypothesis that this compound could be effective treating a specific health issue. So they've done the in vitro testing, and after that, the company starts the important 4 phases or stages in vivo, in real live organisms, to see if it really works in human beings. So in vivo is testing in living organisms, where in vitro is testing in the laboratory. And now we are quickly going to go through the 4 phases involved in vivo drug testing. Phase 1. In the first phase, or the initial phase, our new product is introduced to a small group of volunteers. The focus is on safety and on determining the right dose. So phase 1, a small group of volunteers to test the product safety and to observe how their bodies react to different doses. If all goes well, we go on to phase 2. This is testing and validation phase. So with safety confirmed, the product moves into a pilot study involving real patients who have the condition that needs to be treated. This pilot study is to make sure that the product is on the right track or on the right path. If all goes well, and the product does seem to be effective in treating the condition in the pilot study, then we start large-scale evaluation. This is phase 3, and it is the most important phase for marketing and sales. This is the critical phase, where the product faces a diverse group of patients, diverse different types, young 18-year-olds, 35-year-olds who have the condition. Some have comorbidities. They are from different groups. They are diverse. Phase 3 involves large-scale trials, and the product's effectiveness is rigorously tested. That is strictly and thoroughly tested. And comparisons are made with existing treatments for that condition. If phase 3 trials are successful, so if the product demonstrates efficacy, safety, and it performs well when compared to existing treatments, the pharmaceutical company can submit the data for approval with the regulatory authorities. And as soon as approval is achieved, they can launch the new product. So launch of a new product usually happens after phase 3 trials and after approval is given. Then the product is launched. And with that, the company begins phase 4 trials. Phase 4 is ongoing monitoring. It is post-market surveillance. Surveillance is closely followed. Phase 4 is to ensure that the product remains safe and effective over time, addressing any challenges that may come up. During phase 4, it's very important for the field force and for healthcare professionals to report any adverse events. Adverse event reporting is really important and the healthcare professional has to report any undesirable effect or surprising effect that the patient may experience while using the product, so that any safety concerns are identified and addressed promptly or immediately. So the 4 phases of in vivo drug development are: phase 1, the introductory phase, a small group of volunteers assessing how the body reacts to the product and dosage. Phase 2 is a pilot study, a small study involving real patients to assess effectiveness and make sure that the product is on the right track. Phase 3 is the large-scale evaluation to demonstrate the product's effectiveness, its safety, and its comparison to existing treatments. And the data from phase 3 submitted to regulatory authorities for approval, and then launch can happen. And phase 4 is ongoing monitoring or post-market surveillance to ensure that the product is safe and effective over time. On the next slide, you'll see a little vocabulary test, and on the following one, the answers. Thanks for watching.